I came across a drifting ship. I took a look inside. I found a note that someone wrote that said, take her for a ride. I set a course for sights unseen, went out to open sea. To my surprise, a bunch of sailors joined along with me. Now we're sailing on the mystery ship. All you gotta do is join our trip. There isn't any cost of membership. All the sailors here are really hip. I'm the captain of the mystery ship, and I'm a-calling all aboard our trip. I'm really hoping that you'll enjoy it up on the mystery ship. So bring a friend and come along with us aboard the mystery ship.
There's Duska on the Looska. I better get my act together. I'd better get on board. Yep, I missed it, damn it. Here I am. And there you are. Good evening, my friends. It is wonderful to see your smiling faces this evening. Wait a minute. Am I hearing? Yes, I am. Sorry, there's a little slapback echo because I was checking on my phone. Trying to check in. Got home late from work, people. What can I say? I got in my driveway at 10 after 6. So this is what you get in 7 minutes of Zoe throwing himself together. How are you doing out there? It is a tepid little... It is still 90 degrees right now. And if it's 90 outside at 6:25, holy crap, let's go at least 10 degrees more. It's got to be 100 in this garage, but that's okay. I have an air conditioner aimed right at my posterior, and I am ready to have a good time. How are you guys doing out there? Let's make sure we're live everywhere we're supposed to be. Rumble, check. Yes, we're good at Rumble. People are rumbling. Good to see you over there. Thanks for being there. Pilled Foxhole, home of free speech in America. Yes. Kristen Hudson, good to see you. Revenge, Odoichi. What is going down, my man? Crazy Chuck with a K, my brother. Prairie Fire, always good to see you. Willie Fix It. What's going down, my man? EO2 Dave in the house. EO2 Dave had a birthday, I think, a week and a half ago. Make sure you wish him plenty of love. Great guy. Girl Patriot. What is going on, Mod Girl? How is it going? Great to see you. Great to see you. Double D in the house. He'll be right in there amongst them tonight. We're talking about snail mail tonight. Yes, the good old U.S. Post Office, among other things. Among other things. Not going to beat up on them too much. Let's see who else we got hanging out here. Who else do we have hanging out here? What a fine kettle of fish we have cooked up tonight on the mystery ship. Good to see all of you people hanging out over there. Let's get over here. Oh, by the way, congratulations. You've got, it's Wednesday night, so you have one more week to celebrate that crown of yours. Yep. Foxhole is wearing the crown right now. Yep. Did you see how far back I reached with my arm? Did anybody notice how far back I reached with my left arm? That is impressive. Just a little bit out of 4 weeks past surgery. This crown belongs to Foxhole right now. They were the winners of last month's platform challenge across all the different channels. And we'll be doing that a week from tonight, people. 1 week from tonight. The crown goes back up to see who's gonna get it. Who gonna get it? How you doing out there? All right, let's go over and say hello to our friends in Lemonland. Val Kimber, always a pleasure to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Zoot in the house. Zoot Allures. What's up, little lady? Hope everything is good in your world. Jayla, always pleasure to see you. Hope everything is groovy in New York City. Or, excuse me, Western New York, the beautiful part of New York. She does live in the beautiful part of New York, I'll tell you. Cosmac in the house. How are you doing, buddy? Good to see you, my man. Always good to see you. Willie Fixit is two-timing us over there. And I'm seeing Spudley. Spudley is, well, he was the first guy here. And Val Kimber. I mentioned Val Kimber, did I not? Always good to see my friend from Alabama. Way down in Alabama. With a banjo on his knee, in fact. Let's see. Lynn Winters is in the house. Always good to see you, little lady. What a wonderful group of friends we have gathered together on this thin raft. We've constructed pyramids in honor of our escaping. Oh, sorry, that's a Doors song. All right, let's just take a peek. Not that I'm hopeful, but I'm just going to make sure I'm up and running live at yes, that other place, that Twitch place. Yeah, apparently I'm live. There's a nice big picture there, and nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Good. We're live there. Last but not least, the tube. The tube. Let's get tubular with your brother Zoe. Viewing my channel now. Viewing my channel, there's his live broadcast, and, well, he's definitely live. There's no question about that. He's live. Let's turn the volume down there so we don't have any background noise. Very good. Welcome aboard, sailors. It is wonderful to have you with me this Wednesday night. Volume okay? I've been having some weird issues with my microphone lately. I just want to make sure it is palatable. You'll let me know if it's not to your liking, okay? Won't you? Won't you? All right. All right. Phil Bradley, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. A great group of sailors in here tonight. EO2 Dave was the first thumbs up over at Rumble. There's 5 people rumbling there now. This drink is for you, my friends. And this next sip, it goes out to Tulsi Gabbard. I'm sure that anyone who is in this crowd is probably keeping up with the Joneses, and it's been a fairly exciting week thus far in Obama land. I wouldn't want to be in Obama land right now. I was laughing on the way home thinking about it. Tulsi Gabbard, the head of the DNI, released a bunch of incriminating information, pretty much pointing straight out that the entire Russian collusion, all of that good stuff, was just nothing other than a big fat hoax, kind of like that roll up your sleever thing that they did to us a couple years back. You know that thing, another one of those great big hoaxes, and of course. President Obama came out yesterday with a statement. Absolutely no. We stand by the fact that 51 intelligence experts swore up and down that that is the God's honest truth. And I recently, I can't remember where I saw it, but I saw a old clip. I mean, it has to be a 7 or 8, hell, a 10-year-old clip at this time. I don't know, of Comey on the appearing before Congress and defiantly, there's no fuzz about it. The Russians dabbled in our election. They did everything they could. And I mean, how could a guy just sit and lie like that? But the reason I was chuckling on my way home is someone very close to me, very close to me, in their living room has a giant, and I mean a giant, photograph taken in the White House of Obama rubbing the head of his, I think, 6 or 7-year-old son at the time. And I'm wondering how much longer that picture hanging in the living room. It's got to be, I don't know, 30 by 48. You know, a great big blow up. If you're going to have a picture with the president and your son, you may as well blow the fuck out of it, right? I wonder how much longer that'll be hanging on the wall. I mean, there's some really. Those of you who remember, those of you who did the digging back in the day, there was so much stuff, and you know, after this much time has passed, you'd think, yeah, nothing's ever going to become of it, and then all of a sudden this, pretty interesting. My favorite thing of all was I think the birth certificate that was officially released by the White House when President Obama was the president. And although it looked exactly like the birth certificates of the era, et cetera, certainly looked like the birth certificates from that hospital. The forensic guys went in and took a good look at it and said, this has been doctored. This has been photoshopped and completely, it's a forgery. But the biggest drawback of all, if you recall, was the fact that the year that he was born, the hospital was actually known by a different name. Therefore, the birth certificate wouldn't have had the header on top saying whatever it was, Capulani Medical Center, whatever the hell it was. It would have been the name of the original hospital. So they came that close. And then, of course, there was one woman who worked at the hospital who was kind of a heavy set gal who could have been the be all tell all. She was the one that could have definitively told you whether it was a forgery or not. I mean, whether it was the real deal or not. Unfortunately, the small plane she and several others were flying in crashed right off the coast of Hawaii. Everybody else on the plane lived. For some reason, she didn't make it. Amazing how that stuff. I mean, you just can't make this shit up. It's been a very interesting week. The boys at work. They don't kind of keep up with the alternative news like I do, but they're certainly interested. And every morning when I drive in about, I don't know, 10 after 5 in the morning, we have about a 15-minute bullshit session before we go to work. Dude, what's the latest? What's going on? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'm sure, like the rest of you, we all know that the table is rigged. The system doesn't work. I mean, even though there is perfect, concrete evidence, much like John Durham had, the man who was the bulldog prosecutor who never lost a case, but unfortunately, you walk into some kind of D.C. courtroom with Obama-appointed judges, they're just going to sweep it under the rug. You know, I mean, like with the Kleinsmith guy who changed the emails. Who changed the emails? Talk about getting caught with your hand in the cookie jar. But who was the guy's name? What was the judge's name? Oh, yeah. Boasberg. Boasberg, instead of giving him the recommended jail time, he just gave him probation. Now, wait a minute. Boasberg, where have I heard that name? Where have I heard that name? Oh, that's one of the guys who did a nationwide injunction against Trump being able to, do what he was voted to do. Isn't it a fine kettle of fish? I don't know that there is a straight court in where would you press charges? Where would you want to hold court against the biggest scandal ever in U.S. history? I have to agree with I believe it was President Trump himself who said this makes Watergate look like a Girl Scout party. I mean, it really does. It really does in comparison. Who knows? Who knows? I wonder if it will ever get. I wonder if it'll ever get prosecuted. If it'll ever make it to court. We shall see. We shall see. The nice thing about the mystery ship is, you know, we don't travel those waters too much. I like to take us 108. All the bullshit going on over here, all the Epstein. I just want to go 180 degrees in the opposite direction. Take me out, deep out in the waters, though. Get me out where none of that shit matters, because I can't lose sleep over it anymore. It doesn't. Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever fucking changes. So, in the meantime, I'm going to play a little video. And then on the other side of this, you and I are going to have a little chat about the good old U.S. Post Office. And actually all kinds of stuff. Actually, what this is about is snail mail. Tonight's story is about snail mail, the writing of letters and such. It's sad. It's sad that people don't write letters anymore. And I wonder why. We're going to talk about that. But we're going to talk about that right after this, because this is your opportunity to run out there and get yourself a drink, refresh your grog. And believe me, I hope your grog is as refreshing as mine is. Refresh your grog, kick your feet up, make sure you're in your favorite chair, get all perched up, get the pillows around you. For the next hour and a half, we're gonna have a few laughs, and we're gonna talk about anything other than politics. Okay? I'll see you on the other side of this video. Take the dog outside, do what you got to do, take a leak, gaping Zarge, whatever you must. But I'll see you on the other side of this little video right here. Let's do this.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of the 1975 Lincoln Continental. Created in a time when America's unrivaled car culture, which had dominated the globe for over 60 years, was just coming to a close, the Continental was a giant middle finger at the world that was now looking to save gas by bringing in imported cars promising 30-plus miles per gallon. With its boxed shape, laughing at the laws of aerodynamics, it lumbered through the atmosphere, requiring unbridled amounts of horsepower, averaging a mere 9 to 10 miles per gallon, that is, if it was going downhill with a tailwind. The most luxurious of all the Continentals was, of course, the White Privilege Edition, which boasted a 460 cubic inch mill blasting out an amazing 365 horsepower. It was the very height of American luxury for its time. With a top speed of 125 miles per hour, the 6,669-pound vehicle required disc brakes at all four wheels just to slow it down, a feature only seen on Ferraris and Jags of the day. Its creature comforts included things like opera windows, reading lights for every passenger, cigarette lighters in every corner of the vehicle, and a powered antenna for the radio that included the very latest innovation at the time, a cassette tape player. The dash, with its resplendent sumptuosity, featured real imitation burl wood. The driver could adjust both side mirrors right from the command console. With its four-note horn barking at passers-by, observers would merely stare at the rolling opulence of the White Privilege Edition as it went by, literally wishing that someday its utter lavishness could someday be their very own.
The truth of the matter is, not everybody can afford to drive one of these. You know, at 10 miles a gallon, gas approaching $5 a gallon, it's just not for everybody. You have to be kind of a arrogant prick to drive one of these. And I fit the bill. One thing's for sure, you sure don't see a whole lot of them on the road. Unfortunately, my Lincoln is parked right now. She runs good. She runs good. My reverse gear has gone out. My reverse gear has gone out, and it's $2,000 for a freaking tranny on that damn thing. I would love to be driving it right now. I would love to be driving. I love that car. This past summer, just like 3 weeks ago, both my daughters took me to a car show, and there was just all kinds of late 60s and 70s mint condition cars, and I mean, that car, believe it or not, like it or not, it is 50 years old right now. That car turned 50 years old. It has just under 80,000 original miles. Everything works in the car, with the exception of the frickin' transmission. But other than that, I mean, the rear defroster and all that good stuff, everything works. I yearn to paint it black as night. Black on gold looks so good. Put a new top on that thing, and then next year I'll take home that freaking trophy at the car show. Because, man, there's 15 Chargers, there's 25 Chevelles, there's 7 or 8 Corvettes. There ain't no damn Lincoln Continentals. That I can promise you. I'll at least get best runner-up. Runner-up. I'll take that. I'll take it. All right, my friends. Tonight we're going to be discussing the mail. The mail. And you know what made me think about this? Honestly. I've shared with you guys before that my upwardly mobile father in his company caused us to move many times during my life. I mean, I went to, I think the count was 11 schools, and I lived in 7 different houses growing up. So for me, when somebody says, "Hey, where are you from?" I have an awfully hard time telling them. I really don't know where I'm from. I've lived everywhere. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. Man, it's true. It's true. I mean, at this point in my life, thank God, I can honestly say that I have been in Oregon. I have been in Oregon since 1989. So I guess Oregon is now my home. At least I should feel that way, even though it's got its quirks. It most certainly has its quirks. It is a beautiful place to live, and once you get acclimated to it, it's a hard place not to like. You know, I very much enjoy the dry climate. I don't mind the rain. I really don't. We don't get extraordinary snow up here. Once every blue moon, we'll get, you know, a pretty good dusting. In fact, in the 7-8 years I've lived here, twice we got a significant amount of snow. I posted it on here. I think the last time we got a good amount of snow, it was like 12 inches, which was respectable. The previous time, which was I think 7 years ago, it was right when I had my shoulder surgery. We got a foot of snow, and then it stopped for a day, and then we got another 3 or 4 inches, and then we got another 6 inches on top of that. We had like freaking 16, 17 inches of snow here on the ground, which is very unusual for this country. Very, very unusual. Normal year, we'll get 2, maybe 3 little 3-inch dustings of snow. It's pretty. It's nice. It's quiet. It's so dead quiet after it snows. But it lasts about 3 days, and either rain comes in and gets rid of it, or the sun comes out. But Oregon is now my home. But in one of the places I lived, actually 2 of the places I lived, in between the 4th grade and the 5th grade, was when I moved from New Jersey, where I was born, to Southern California. And one thing I did back in, we're talking 1969 now. So one thing I did is I had a letter writing campaign with 3 of my friends back there, and we communicated for every bit of 3, maybe 4 years. You know, like everything else. Sooner or later, you know, you get busy. You kind of don't think about your friend who now lives 3,000 miles away. That kind of a thing. But a strange thing happened a little later in my life when I was, I think, 13. As soon as I graduated the 8th grade, my dad's company decided to up and move from Los Angeles, the bustling hub of the West Coast, down to northern San Diego County, to a teeny tiny little place called Temecula. Population 12. I mean, Temecula, in 1973, there was nothing there. Seriously, nothing there. And because there was nothing there, we chose not to live in that town. We lived about 12 miles away in a little place called Fallbrook, California, avocado capital of the world. A beautiful place to live. And for me, personally, having lived most of my life in cities, this was my very first taste of the country. We lived on a 4-acre plot nestled into avocado groves and right next to a dairy. a former dairy. It was at one time it was a working dairy. About the time we got to it, the guy had a handful of cows left, and he mostly, butchered one a year, and he'd get a couple of. He had a bull there that would, you know, keep the milkmaids milking, and what he mostly made his money from was boarding horses. He actually boarded race horses there, and that was across the road from the property I lived on. So it was just for me, a city kid. For the first time ever in my life, I'm exposed to things like roosters and weasels in my backyard, and squirrels and birds and owls and foxes and just all kinds of wildlife. I'd never seen this shit in my life. And you hand a ninth grader a BB gun. Next thing you know, he's out shooting birds and stuff. Just that good old stupid stuff you do as a kid. We used to shoot the cows in the butt to make them run and stuff. Nothing mean spirited. The BB guns we had were like they were air guns, Crossman. So you would have to pump them up. And if you put 10 pumps in a gun, believe me, you would not want to be shot by this thing. But a single pump or 2 pumps, you could shoot your buddy in the leg and it didn't hurt. So if we shot a cow in the ass to make him jump, it was only 1 pump. We weren't out to hurt anybody. And besides, their hides are so freaking tough, But the interesting thing was that by the 8th grade, you have made some lasting friendships. And I will say this, the guys I went to school with in the 8th grade before I left Los Angeles, I had pretty much gone to school with since the 5th grade. I'd known most of those guys for 4 years. And you might laugh, but I have them on speed dial to this day, some 55 years later, out of the 5th grade. I'm still friends with these guys to this day. Now, when I moved in 1973, another one of the guys, we had a clique. We had a clique of about 12 guys. And we were tight. We played all the sports together. We screwed around. We liked the same things. We liked the same music. Some of us were learning how to play instruments at the time. We were tight. We dug Creedence and Black Sabbath, shared each other's records, and rode bicycles together, and threw M80s and people's pumpkins on Halloween together. All that American stuff that kids do when they're growing up. So I moved from LA to San Diego, and another one of the main guys, this guy was actually one of the best basketball players we had, super tall guy. He was part of our clique. He moved to Kentucky. So, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 of us started a letter writing campaign. And we wrote letters to each other, and, 9th graders. What was really unique, I mean, we wrote letters just about, 2-pagers, 3-pagers, and then we started getting classy in our letter writing. This one time I received what I thought it was an 8mm movie from a friend of mine. And so I went and I got the projector and I set it all up, and I was like, oh, my buddy Tom sent me a movie. So I open up the little plastic reel. I don't know if you guys remember what 8mm films looked like back in the day, but I open it up and there's no film. Instead, he had taken a piece of paper and had cut it into strips about 3/8 of an inch wide, dozens and dozens of them, and he taped them all together into a big long, like a ticker tape. And he proceeded to write a letter on it, starting on one side. So you got this little piece of paper, and you start here, "Dear Al," and I start reading and reading and reading and reading, and you just, I thought it was so clever. And then you get all the way to the end of this thing. I think it was like 13 feet long, and then you flip it over, and it was on the other side. He finished the letter on the other side. So, we had a lot of fun writing letters to one another. And we got to the point as we got a little bit older than that, we just started mailing cassette tapes to one another. We would just dictate on our cassette decks, talk for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then mail the tape. And that way, on the other side, when you received it, you could just pop the tape in and listen to the guy's letter instead of having to read and having to sit down and write a letter. Although, even though we did that, we did continue to write letters. And there was just something. There was a bond. There was a bond there when I would. My mom would say, "Hey, can you go get the mail?" Because our mailbox in a rural location, it's not out in front of your house. There's a gang of mailboxes all the way down the end of the street. So I would either ride my bike down and get the mail, or I would skateboard down or something and get the mail. And when I say skateboard, I'm talking those old clay wheels, okay? We didn't have those trucks that with rubber. I mean, most of our skateboards were made by buying a cheap pair of, for 25 cents. You bought somebody's old roller skates at a garage sale, and you hacksawed them in half, and you drilled out the rivets, and you screwed the front part to a piece of wood, and you screwed the back part to a piece of wood, and there was your skateboard. Metal wheels, even. I did all of that. I did all of that as a kid. But there was something magical about going out to your mailbox and grabbing all the stuff and then sorting through it. And you get about 4 or 5 pieces of mail in, and here's a letter to you from one of your buddies. And you're like, "Oh, man, my buddy Tom wrote me from Louisville, Kentucky." It was cool. And I saved those. I saved those letters in my top drawer. They had a rubber band around them. I probably had a stack of letters that freaking big from 5 or 6 of my close buddies. And that's how we kept in touch, And at the time, I had braces for my teeth. And I'm very thankful that my folks got me braces. Of course, it doesn't look like it anymore because I was one of those stupid kids who didn't wear his retainer properly. But there was a time my teeth were absolutely, as good as Cheryl Teague's, okay? But, your dad shells out a whole bunch of money. You should listen to him and wear your retainer. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Oh, he got so pissed when my teeth started to spread. "Albert, where's that retainer?" Anyway. How the hell did I get on ortho? I would write my friends and say, "Hey, next month we're coming up to L.A. because my brother and I need to see the orthodontist." And so, like twice a month during the summer, my mom would twice each summer, once a month, my mom would drive us from San Diego up to L.A. And for the day, we'd spend the whole day in L.A. and get to see our old friends. And, wrote them letters to say, "Hey, on the 19th, are you going to be around? I'm coming by. I'm coming by to see you." It was fun. And when I think back even just a little bit earlier than that, back in back in school, now, my school days, my early school days on the East Coast, I went to a Catholic school. I went to a Catholic school taught by the Sisters of Saint Joseph. And these were the nuns all dressed in black with a big white habit, and they had, I can't remember the thing that they wore on their head. There's a name of it. A big white thing up here with a black veil, and they all had a giant rosary hanging down. And I always marveled. I always marveled because they had somewhere inside their big fluffy skirt, they had pockets. They had pockets in those nuns' outfits. And you'd see them fumbling around looking for their pockets, and then she'd finally reach in and pull out her keys. And I was always amazed by the nuns. I really was. I got in more trouble with those nuns. I really did. It's crazy. I guess I was what you would call a bad kid. But I'm not necessarily a bad kid. Do you know what I did? I always pressed the envelope. If there was a rule, I wanted to see how far you could go until you got in trouble. And once in a blue moon, I'd get myself in trouble. But they taught us, besides learning how to read and write, the good old Dick and Jane and Spot books, back in the day. Who learned to read with Dick and Jane? If you learned to read with Dick and Jane and their dog Spot, put an X in the chat. I just want to know if I'm the oldest guy out here, because those were the books that I learned to read to. See Spot Run. Yes. Yes. Man, they taught us something called penmanship. Penmanship. So, it wasn't enough that we learned how to read and write and to spell. No. They made us practice writing. And I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you, people. We had a lined notebook just like this one right here. Exactly like this one right here. We had a lined notebook. Actually, it was called a composition book. It had the little black and white specks on it. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And she would write some great big thing on the board, and we would all have to copy it. And the nun would walk up and down the aisles and would say, "Master Sella, your P's, you are not rounding your P's. Give me your pencil." And she would take and draw just an absolute perfect P on my thing. That's the way a lowercase p should be written, Master Sella. And we practiced writing just so that our letters were legible. I'd be willing to bet my entire paycheck that they don't do that stuff anymore. And what's even stranger is now they call it what? They call it cursive? Cursive. I don't know where the hell that word came from. We called it longhand. That's what they taught us. Longhand. Printing. Are you gonna print it, or are you gonna use longhand? That's what we called it, longhand. She would walk up and down the aisles grading people's papers, and I'm not kidding you. We would have to continue until everybody in the class was writing perfectly. And to this day, if I try, if I put my mind to it, when I do write letters to people, and I do write them upon occasion, when I write thank you notes to my friends when I'm on the road and stuff, people who send me stuff, I actually try to put some effort into my penmanship. If I if I go slowly and take my time, I can actually still write a fairly legible letter to people that they'll be able to read on the other side. It's interesting. I know that I know that a lot of people don't do that kind of. Everything's email anymore. I mean, when's the last time you sat down and actually wrote out a paragraph for something? You know, I mean, I would have to stop and think about it. But one thing that I enjoy, and I really do enjoy this. There's a handful of people. Foxhole has a bunch. I know that D-Live has a bunch. If I'm not mistaken, I think that Bad Bad Zoot might be part of this little party. There's a group of people who go out of their way each and every year to send out Christmas cards. I'm almost 100% positive that. Oh, for crying out loud! Why am I having a senior moment? The man, Razor and Goobage. Goobage is big on sending Christmas cards. It's those things mean something to me. I have saved every Christmas card. Actually, Mrs. Zoe has saved every Christmas card that has been sent to us here at the Mystery Ship. She has them all. And a lot of times people will include letters along with them. You know, man, that time that you went down through, you know, I remember that. I remember that episode when you went to, you know, whatever, Niagara Falls, or, you know, that time you went to Roswell and you made yourself disappear, and, you know, you were abducted by aliens and that kind of stuff. And it's really quite wonderful to receive handwritten letters from people. It's almost a lost art anymore. My daughter, my youngest daughter, Victoria, has been writing my mom, my soon-to-be 90-year-old mother, and every time she does, I mean, she might do it once or twice a year, but it's enough to just put the giggles into my mother. It is, golden crisp. She says, Zoso, I've saved everything you've sent me. That's awesome. That is awesome, Gold. Thank you. Good to see you, kiddo. Good to see you. It's my mom savors those things. She does, and as do I. As do I. The people who actually take the time to sit down and write a letter, and whatever kind of letter it is, you know. I will admit, 90% of the letters that I write these days are, well, they're thank you letters. You know, thank you for your support. Thank you for putting me up when I got to your town. Thank you for helping me out with gas along the way. That kind of thing. I try to personally thank each and every one who helps me out, because it means something to me, and I don't want them to just get a little electronic text. Gee, thanks. I want it to be more lasting than that. And my mom said to me, "Your daughter writes the most fabulous letters to me," and I mean, it really turns the old lady on. It really turns my mom on when she receives letters, handwritten letters from my daughter. And so I have encouraged her to keep it up. Keep doing that. Let's keep the old bird happy, you know? It's something. Because I remember, seriously, waiting by the mailbox. Yeah, I used to get a charge out of going to get the mail just to see if one of my friends wrote me a letter. And it's kind of interesting. Oh, Lord. Is this work related? Hang on a second. We got We got EO2 Dave calling in. EO2, what are you doing, my man?
I'm sitting here watching you,
Yeah.
and as I'm sitting here watching you, I'm trying to remember what it was I was going to say to you if you did actually answer the phone, which I didn't think you would because I tried like numbers and none of them went through.
No,
So,
normally I don't answer my cell phone because, as you can see, I don't have a way to hook it up to the system. When I fire up my landline, which I was going to do here in a little bit,
I know you were.
Yeah,
I know.
I've
know
got
you
that
were.
directly pumped into the board. So
I would never get through on the landline though. and I did want to just call and say hi because it's hard to connect with you sometimes.
Oh yeah,
you're so popular these days.
well, I'm working in a tremendous amount of hours right now. I mean, I was 15 minutes late starting my show tonight because I got home late.
Oh my God, the world is going to end, my friend. Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right, but just to let you know, and God, what was the main subject that you were talking about tonight?
Well, mailing letters, writing letters, and
yeah,
mailing
writing letters in the post office.
Yeah.
Listen, I have people that write me letters. My brother writes me letters. My cousins write me letters.
Really?
And you know what? I get back online and I send them an email and I say, look, don't expect me to write you any freaking letters. Okay? One, I got so much arthritis in my hand, I couldn't hold a pen if I wanted to.
I get it. I get it.
All right, but I can still hunt and peck on the keyboard,
Right.
But
It's
my brother, he won't let it go. He's just he lives in the Bay Area. Okay, he just actually moved from Nevada to Benicia, California.
okay. I know the area.
And he can mail me a DVD of a movie, and I can get it in less than 48 hours.
Wow.
It's just amazing. These little DVD mailers. It's just like, bam.
Yeah.
But if he wants to send me a letter or something, or a card, say a birthday card, it takes 5 days.
It's true.
Now, why is that? That is the post office. Why is that? Okay.
Well, that's actually, believe it or not, that is, I'm going to dip into a little bit of that tonight. I did a little research on the post office. I did a little research into what has been taking a bite out of them and what has made them. I mean, in my lifetime, I think it was. You probably remember this, Dave. I mean, the post office has had ups and downs, ebbs and flows. I think it was Bush who hired a postmaster general and whoever, I can't remember the guy's name, but I think he turned the ship around and made the post office profitable for the first time in 30 years or something. And they made a great big deal out of it, And of course, since then it has.
Of course, it didn't last.
No, it didn't. But
Yeah.
We had a hero for a while, a postmaster general who actually was somebody. Well,
listen. I just let me conclude this, and thank you for let me be the first caller.
no,
Okay?
it's always
But
good.
let me conclude this by saying that I still so much look forward every day to checking my mailbox. Okay.
Just in case somebody wrote you a letter.
Well, no. Listen, if even no mail is good news, okay, because there's no bills.
Exactly. I mean, to me, a no mail day is a great day.
Now, the only other thing I want to say that you had mentioned earlier is about your Continental. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And as far as I'm concerned, you should pour a concrete pad. Okay, put that fucker on blocks, cover it up in a whole bunch of tarps, and save it for about 10 more years. It's going to be worth a lot of money.
I know people won't believe that they actually made cars that big,
It would be, it's unbelievable. Listen, if I have just half of the cars that I used to own.
I know.
Okay.
I hear you, buddy.
I mean, back when we would spend $50 on a Dodge Dart, okay, push button with a slant 6, and we drove it 300,000 miles,
Yeah.
and then we sold it for more than what we bought it for.
I hear you, buddy. I hear you.
Okay.
Those were the days,
So,
man. Those were the days.
those
buddy.
were the days.
All right.
But hey, listen, I love you, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Okay?
Always good talking to you, Dave. Thanks for the call.
All right. Bye-bye.
I will talk to you, my friend. All right. EO2 Dave breaking the ice tonight. I plan on firing up the phones a little later anyway because I want to get your guys' input on this whole bit of shenanigans that we're talking about. But did you hear what he said? He at his age, Dave's got me by about I think 5-6 years, maybe a couple more than that. But he still looks forward to going out to his mailbox. And I will say this for sure. Since the inception of this show, okay, I love coming home at night when I drive home. My Jeep is the perfect height. I pull up, it's right at my mailbox height. I don't even have to get out of my car. I just pull up to it. I drive on the wrong side of the road, pull up to my mailbox, stick the key in, open it up, and by God, when I get some kind of surprise in the mail, people send me little trinkets, just little nothings, just little things that, I mean, let me see if I got something here. Yeah. You guys know FUD. So I got this in the mail one day. I had no idea. I'm like, what on earth? What on earth is this? And I open it up, and it is a survival kit. It's a waterproof little gizmo here, and it keeps dry matches, and I think there's some kind of medicine in here, or I opened it once and I put it back. I'm like, I love this thing. I just silly little things like this in the mail that come. I mean, I've got hundreds of them. It fell down. I have to dig down. I have to take all my guitars out to reach it. But Empress Bitch to You sent me oh man, she sent me the car with the rebel flag on it, man. And somebody mailed me this wonderful little porpoise, stuff like this. Q&A Holes sent me that great little statuette. I mean, I got stuff all over the place. My walls are adorned. That big sailing ship was sent to me by Willie's Fix-It. My God. Yeah, as I look around this room, I mean, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. I love going to the mailbox. I really do. And I love the fact that my teachers taught me how to write, and how still now some miraculous 60 years later, I still have halfway decent penmanship. And I guess I should thank those nuns who were walking up and down the aisles with their ruler, because I mean, they dared me into they forced me into learning how to write perfectly. I gotta say this. My mother, to this day, my mother's penmanship, I should try to go in and find a card or something that she's, just whatever the last thing is that she sent me, because the woman's penmanship looks like it was done by a robot. It is so perfect. My mother's, I mean, back then they used to really teach Americans. We've really let that stuff slide. I mean, I look at, I can say this. I remember this, okay? There was always like one kid in class who, try as he might, he just couldn't get his penmanship down. He just couldn't. And the nun would walk up and down, she'd be looking up and down, and walking up and down the aisles, and all of a sudden she'd get to this one kid, and, oh my God, what am I going to do with you, Joey Thompson? You are destined to be a doctor. Nobody's ever going to be able to read what you have written. And I have to, I always thought that was a joke. I always thought that that was a joke until, I mean, they don't do it very much anymore, but, you know, doctors used to actually write handwritten prescriptions. I mean, during the younger part of my life, between my 20s and my 40s, if I ever had to get some kind of medicine, a doctor hand wrote a script. Now it's all electronic over the internet, and all, you never see a prescription anymore. But I remember I would look at the prescriptions. Sometimes he'd write you 2 or 3 of them, and I would say to myself, "What the hell does this say? Is this Tylenol with codeine? Is it? I mean, I couldn't read the doctor's handwriting. Now I know what the nuns were talking about. I really do. Oh man. So the postman who comes around and delivers my mail, we actually, I have a post lady here, and I have been, let's just say, exchanging things. I live in Oregon. Where we grow green things. I think I'm going to leave it right there and let your imagination do the wandering. So I live in Oregon here where we grow green things. And I have some friends in different parts of the country who ask me to help them out upon occasion. And I'm happy to do it. I know people who do that kind of thing, and if it makes somebody else happy, why wouldn't I help out? I mean, there's nothing, it's no skin off my nose. But a couple of times, my friends have said, "Hey, dude, did you get my letter in the mail?" The first letter that makes everything happen. And I'd no. And they would send me a picture of it. And I would actually, one Saturday, I waited around for my mail lady to show up. And I said, "Hey," and I showed her a picture. And I said, "Do you remember putting this in my mailbox?" Because it was a very specific looking envelope. It wasn't just some white envelope. This envelope meant business. It's the kind of envelope you would remember if you were a mail lady. And she said, "Look, I remember putting that in your mailbox." And I said to her, "I've been checking the mail every day for the last 10 days because I knew this was coming. It wasn't there. I have not received it." And I since have gone out and purchased a locking mailbox. And I have to admit, I haven't had any problems since getting a locking mailbox in my in the first house that I bought here in Oregon. I lived out in the Tules. I mean, I lived 10 miles outside of a town of 2,000 people in a little burg of about 600 people. And even then, I was another 3 miles removed from that. So it's a very, very rural. In fact, if you were to try to find my house, I would have to draw you a map to find it. And believe it or not, people were complaining about their mail getting stolen. And I remember this one year I was working in Hawaii, and it was my daughter's birthday. So I mailed her a card. I put a $50 bill in it, and I sent it. And I let the ex-wife know that it's in the mail, And that kid waited by the mailbox every day. And it never came. It's because somebody was stealing our mail out there. And that was 20 years ago. 25 years ago. Mail theft is amazing. I think, I mean, I don't know this. Maybe due diligence can answer this. When I open up the phones, maybe he'll let us know. But there are people who still mail money. in the mail. And I mean, nowadays, I have to say, you're taking a chance if you send money in the mail. Now, back in the 60s and the 70s, when, you know, Uncle Dick used to send you $5 in your birthday card, nobody's going to steal that. But anymore, it seems like you can't trust the mailman. Or at least I want to trust the mailman. I want to trust my mail lady. And I mean, if the envelope that got sent to me, that got stolen, that had a significant amount of moolah in it, was about this size, 8.5 by 11. And it was red, and it had little Christmas bows and stuff. It was a Christmassy thing. That's what made it stand out. And that's the one that I wondered. This was what I wondered. I mean, I've heard, I don't know this for sure, but I have heard that the post office can scan mail now. They can scan it like the scanners at the airport. And you know how bills, newer bills, definitely 50s and 100s, they have that crazy little stripe going through and weird holograms on them. I'm wondering if those show up in the scanner so that somebody at the post office could be, scan this, scan that, scan this. Ooh, that one. This one looks like it has money in it. And here's my twisted little mind. Wow, this envelope, this red envelope with all the Christmas stuff looks like it has money in it. I'm going to write down this address, and I'm going to go by their house later before they get their mail and take it out of their mailbox. I mean, I don't know if that's the case. I have no proof. But I've for a long time, I wanted to set up a camera watching my mailbox. Seriously. Because there's been at least 3 times I know of that people said they mailed me something that I never got. And it makes me wonder. It really... Ooh, it makes me wonder. I don't know, but when we come back from this, I'm going to open up the phones. I'm going to give you a little bit more information. And then I just want to hear from you guys. I do. Oh, which one of these do I want to play? I like them all. All right, we'll just go with this one. We'll go with this one. It's easy. Okay, I'll see you on the other side of this video right here, people. On the other side of this video. And then we'll open the phones, and I want to hear from you. All righty? There we go.
Why do we sail upon the mystery ship? 'Cause we never know where we'll go next.
This is the time when I like to take a moment to thank the wonderful people who support this program in whatever way you see fit. Those who bless me with the lemons, those who surprise me with the gold pills, and you others who occasionally surprise me on my Cash App and in my PayPal. Believe me, you are the ones who put wind in my sail, and I greatly, greatly appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Seriously, more than you'll ever know. One of the best ways you can help this show, honestly, doesn't cost a penny. It does not cost a penny. And that is just to tell somebody about this show. Say, man, there's this crazy biker guy. He gets on his bike every year and he rides around the country and he meets everybody that watches his show. And he's all over the place and he'll come to your town when you least expect it. But he's got this crazy show and you never know what he's going to talk about. Well, those are the people that I appreciate more than anything in the world. The ones who share this program on their Facebooks, on their whatever, their Gabs, their Truth Socials. And I know you're doing it because I always check in and I check my numbers and my numbers are going up. So let me say some thank yous right now while I'm thinking about it, because you people are just tremendous. Due Diligence, God bless you, brother. Thank you so much. Girl Patriot. Artist 61, always good to see you, Steph. I didn't see you sneak in. The Doodah Man, good to see you, buddy. How's it going? Doodah Man always sends me a Christmas card with a handwritten letter inside of it. I was just looking at it 2 days ago, the one from this past Christmas. Thanks, Joe. Safety Net, thank you, darling, for the can. A love bomb. Thank you, little lady. Due Diligence comes back again. Come back. And Golden Crisp. Oh, my Lord. Here she is, making her presence known. Thank you, darling. Thank you so very much. You are wonderful. You are absolutely freaking wonderful. God bless you, dear. And over here, there's no strangers to danger when it comes to donating over in Lemonland. Yes, TL Spud. Thank you, my brother. Thank you kindly. Lynn Winters. Thank you. Val Kimber. Always good to see you, Val. Hope everything is good in your world. Hope Mom is hanging in there. Willie Fix It. Thank you kindly. Bad Zoot. Love you, sister. Thanks for your contributions. You guys freaking rock. You rock. Yes. So the postmaster, while that video was playing, I checked in. In the early 2000s, under the Bush administration, John E. Potter, the Postmaster General of the United States, taking office June 1st, 2001, Potter was at the helm during a turbulent period for the USPS, and he turned it around. He turned the dang thing around. Pretty impressive. But since that time, what he did to turn the post office around at the time, he looked at ways to capitalize on cost reduction. He strengthened and taught the workforce, and he improved the customer experience, and that's what set them going the right way. But it didn't take long. Within a decade, the old post office was right back. The old post office was right back where she was, man, just floundering, just barely floundering. Now, one of the biggest bites out of the post office has been Amazon, and President Trump has mentioned several times that. Damn it! Is this the? Where's the latest one? Where is? Okay, there it is. There it is, right there. There it is. Yeah. Amazon is a major USPS customer, which delivers a significant portion of Amazon's packages. Reportedly, around 30% of the U.S. mail is Amazon packaging. This package delivery business is a growing area for the USPS, helping to offset declining mail volumes. The fact is, people just aren't mailing stuff like they used to. Amazon's business is profitable for the USPS. Documents show that in 2019, Amazon generated 3.9 billion in revenue and 1.6 billion in profit for the USPS. Must be time to ask for a raise, buddy. The post office said that they rely on Amazon. Losing Amazon as a customer could be financially detrimental to the U.S. Post Office, as they would lose a significant source of revenue without, finding a way to increase it. And then the issues are that Amazon is building its own. They are building its own delivery service, and they're getting good at it. I mean, they got little vans running around my neighborhood. I recently, I try not to order anything through Amazon. I've heard too many bad things, like they're cheating in the way they, a package that would cost you or me $7 or $8 to send, they can send it for $1.50 somehow. That's just not fair, if you ask me. And because of that, they're finding their own ways of delivering their packages. Now, they are using the U.S. mail to get it from point A to point B, but then they go pick it up at a warehouse, and then they make the final delivery themselves without using the letter carriers, which that's bogus. So while Amazon's growing delivery network poses a potential future challenge for the USPS, its current business with Amazon is a vital source of revenue and helps support the agency's operations. The primary reasons for the USPS's financial struggles lie in other areas, such as declining mail volumes and mandated benefit costs. Well, I mean, who am I to deny benefits to the letter carriers? God bless them. I mean, through rain, through sleet, through snow, they do it all. They do it all. I had another little ditty. Oh, it was about FedEx and UPS and the bite that they have taken out of. Yes. FedEx and UPS, with their focus on speed and reliability, have captured a considerable share of the package delivery market, which traditionally was a strong area for the Postal Service. USPS has responded by emphasizing its package delivery services to compete with these private carriers. The shift is evident in the Postal Service's increased focus on e-commerce deliveries. USPS generally offers lower prices, and this is true. I can tell you, I have mailed hundreds and hundreds of packages of mystery ship stuff, okay? Mugs and hats and shirts and, oh my Lord, you name it, I have mailed it. Lamps. And I can tell you for a fact that the post office is half the price of FedEx or UPS. Half the price. For budget-conscious consumers and small businesses. However, FedEx and UPS are often favored for faster delivery times and more specialized services. Yet for a while USPS didn't have tracking, but I will say nowadays the tracking on the USPS app is as good as it gets. In fact, I was sitting at my desk today at work, and I got a little bling on my phone, and what showed up? But it said, "Oh, your package from Seattle, your cocoon video, was just placed in your mailbox." And I was like, fantastic. Beautiful. So the relationship between the Postal Service, FedEx, and USPS is not solely one of competition. There's also a degree of partnership, and with the Post Office sometimes handling the last mile deliveries for these giants. And that is true. A great many packages that I order stuff online all the time, mostly silly little stuff like earbuds or replacement cables when a cable goes down here on the mystery ship and I got to buy new audio cables, and it's very specialized, like dual 1/4-inch jack to a USB. Okay, so I can go out of my board into my computer. They don't sell those on every street corner, so I have to order that stuff online. And many is the time that they'll ship it. They'll ship it to Medford, and then the post office takes it from there and they deliver it. So you get two different tracking numbers. But I mean, I think we'd be lost without the post office myself. I really do. I really do. All right, now let me turn this on. Come on now. What's going on with my phone? I have an on-off switch on my phone, and I had it in the off position. The phone was working perfectly. It was the operator that doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Operator doesn't know what he's doing. All right, let's go here. Let's go right here, and let's go there. And we'll go okay. And boom. Oh, for goodness sakes. How does one do that? I'm hoping you can read that on your screen. I'm hoping you can read that on your little telephones at home. I don't really care if it's over the front of my face. I don't. What I want to know is, at any point in your life, did you ever have a letter writing campaign with one of your friends? Like one of your friends moved away and you stayed in touch by writing letters? And are you still writing letters to anybody? Does anybody out there still write letters to people? Because if you do, I want to hear from you. I want to know what kind of things you write about. I truthfully do. All right, the phone lines are working. They are definitely working. So grab yourself a handful of telephone and call on into the mystery ship. I want to know, when's the last time you wrote a letter? When is the last time you wrote a letter? Are you the type that sends thank you cards? Are you someone who remembers to send thank you cards? Because that's pure class in my humble estimation. Somebody who takes the time to thank somebody for something nice. Or Christmas cards. Who still sends Christmas cards? I want to freaking hear from you. What is it inside of you that makes you want to still do that? Because I think it is one of the most quaint and wonderful little things that we still do in America. When I was a kid at my house, my mom and dad, I'm talking the 60s now, my mom and dad at Christmas time got, oh my God, they received at least 100 Christmas cards every Christmas. My mom would put a couple of tacks on the wall with a string, and she would run 3 or 4 or 5 different strings, and she would hang the cards on them, like Christmas decorations. And they always had the pretty little Christmas pictures on the outside of them. Were you ever one of those people that when you sent out your Christmas cards, did you tuck inside one of those, like, handwritten, this is what the last year this is what 1999 brought to the Johnson family, and you tell, little Katie graduated 8th grade, and Johnny got his hunter's license, and Billy Boy got his driver's license. I mean, stuff like that. I remember when that became popular. I always marveled at the custom Christmas cards that people would be able to send. The family photo on the front, all dressed up in they had to do this probably in October in order to have it ready to have the cards custom made and then get them in time to mail them out so that people got them in early December. It's strange how sending Christmas cards has really kind of become it's another lost art that's just gone down the drain. It's kind of sad even. Welcome aboard the mystery ship. Who do we have on the line this evening?
Golden Crisp.
Golden Crisp. How are you doing, Jessica? Good to talk to you.
Good. I just want to say that me and my best friend always write letters to each other, like almost constantly. And when you sent me that letter, I mean, I don't know how many months ago it was.
Yeah.
I have it sitting on my fridge, and like
That's
every
awesome.
time, like personal notes. Actually, like I have an actual a bucket, not a bucket. I don't know what to call it. Like, what are those fancy things that women buy? I don't know what they're called. I'm pretty sure your wife knows what they're called.
Probably.
Like,
it's something that you keep a bunch of something in specifically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. And so every time I get something very special to me, I put them in that. But
That's awesome.
like, I was so like when you sent me that. It's sitting on my fridge right now. But
That's very touching. Thank you.
like I'm gonna keep it in my like special box.
Good.
Once I'm done with it, but I just because me and my best friend, we actually write letters, like personal, like we actually write cursive.
I mean,
write cursive.
you still do it to this day. That
Yeah,
is wonderful.
we still write. And I really appreciate your topic of this evening, because that's just like it holds a special thing in my heart, because especially what you wrote me, and then I still do that to this day with even my family and my best friend, and we write cursive.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if these kids don't know cursive, but we write cursive.
I tried to write cursive. Were you able to read my handwriting?
Oh yeah, it was actually very beautiful, to be honest.
Well,
I really enjoyed it.
well, thank you kindly.
But-
That's awesome. One thing will never happen. It's funny. I don't know if you saw Quite Frankly last night, but I had a little blurb.
Oh, I did.
I had a
Yeah.
little blurb on there with Frank talking to him about Ozzy Osbourne and how I thought that the man was truly, he was genuine, and he didn't take people for granted. A lot of people become mega stars, and they just walk all over the little people. To me, I am the little people. So when people send me stuff and surprise me with stuff, it means the world to me. So I like to handwrite them letters. Thank you for helping me out. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for the little surprises that people send me in the mail. It's I love going to my mailbox, and like you, I have to ask you this. You and your friends still write letters to each other. Don't you get don't you get an absolute kick in the pants when you open up your mail and you're going through? Oh, here's a letter from whatever her name is. Here's a letter.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't it just give you a little jolly? A shot of dopamine better than any other. It's a kick in the ass. It's awesome.
Yeah, when you sent me the hat and the written letter,
Yeah.
I was like, it just tickled. It just tickled me so much. And okay, so with Quite Frankly, I don't watch it like so. Today's episode,
Right.
I watch it tomorrow on my way to work, and so I watched what was it? Tuesday's episode. I watched it this morning.
Oh. Okay.
And Frank showed your picture with Ozzy.
Yeah.
And I saw it at work. And I was like, oh my God. And what he was talking about, it was just so cool how
Oh,
Frank talked about your picture,
you know,
and
the
it was
important
just
thing on
really
that is
cool to hear him talk about you
uh,
with that picture.
he is.
It was so cool.
I'll tell you what, he is. If you ever get the opportunity to meet Frank, I will tell you he is. He is like the guy next door, man. He is one of the most gentle souls, and he's the guy that you see on air is who he really is in real life.
Oh, I believe it.
He's an
I believe it. I
just an
believe it.
outstanding. I take a bullet for that guy, man. And you know we're a generation apart, but we understand the same things. You know, he's a musician. I'm a musician. I'm a little older. He's a little younger. He you know just. I wish him the best of luck with that show. I hope one day he gets
Well,
as big as Joe Rogan. That's my dream for him.
Oh, I hope so too.
Yeah.
But when you were talking about how, when what was it, like the next day that Ozzy Osbourne had his child,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you were there the same day. Like I watched that, and it was just, I was kind of tearing up, to be honest. I was like, that's so cool.
It's funny. He sent me a
Because
little.
I know I'll never meet any of you guys in this lifetime, but I just thought that was so awesome, and I love watching both of your adventures.
Don't you be surprised if I ride up to the Seattle area on my motorcycle this next spell here in September. So don't be surprised if
just call me.
I will. I'll reach out and I'll surprise you. Jessica, I really appreciate your call. You made my night, darling. You made my night.
All right. I love you. Have a
Love
good
you
one.
too, kiddo. Thanks so much for your call.
Bye.
Yeah, that is awesome. I love the fact that she's still writing letters to a friend, and so she knows what it's like to go out to the mailbox and grab that stack of mail and go, oh God, Bill, fucking doctors. Oh my God, a letter from my friend. I mean, it gives you this warm and fuzzy feeling inside that is that doesn't happen with email, that doesn't happen with a text, it doesn't happen with a GIF, it doesn't happen with a DM, but with a letter. It means somebody actually thought so much of you that they took the time to sit down for 15, 20 minutes and in their own hand write down their feelings to you, lick it, stick it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, and send it your way in the hopes that it might bring some joy to you on the other end. I think it's wonderful. And I encourage, I don't know if anybody saw it in the chat, but Goobage, our dear friend Goobage, she has a group of people and it grows every year. She has a group of people that have a Christmas card list, and they send them out. And you know, it was my 20s. It was my 20s when I was still sending out 30, 40, 50 Christmas cards a year, and it's sad that I don't do that anymore. What is this, my friend Girl Patriot?
It is.
How is everything down in Texas, my dear? How are you?
It's wonderful, nice and hot.
When you say
The
hot,
border's closed.
how warm is it?
Well, today, I didn't even check, but it gets up there 95.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, we're in the same neck of the woods right now. Then, yeah. Man.
But just to let you know, the border is closed.
Really? Even the gates that were welded open have been cut through and welded shut.
Thanks to Holman, we've shut the border.
That is most impressive. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, listen, I wanted to tell you, I've got something for you.
Really? Okay.
I'm going to sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came from you.
Oh,
I'm going to write words oh so sweet. They're going to knock me off
my knees.
A lot of kisses at the bottom. I'll be glad I got 'em. I'm going to smile and say, I hope you're feeling better. And close with love the way you do. I'm going to sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came from you.
That
There
is
you go.
that is beautiful, darling. Thank you so much. That is awesome.
I have to tell you, I had my sister-in-law once when I was just a teenager, like probably 13. My mom was Catholic Italian, super strict. She lined me up with her cousin, who was in high school, and he lived in Moab, Utah, which is quite a ways from us, Helper, Utah.
Yeah.
And so we would write to each other.
Yeah.
And I remember like dosing the letter with perfume
Oh, sure.
and run out to the mailbox, every couple of weeks to get a letter from him.
Oh, yeah.
So-
And I can assure you, as a guy on the receiving end, he probably still got those letters. This was him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was love. I don't know whatever happened. I did see him one time, and, it's kind of like, we didn't really even talk, but anyway, it was sweet, real sweet.
People are saying you have a excellent and wonderful voice in the chat, my dear. That was beautiful. Thank you so very much. What a perfect
That's right.
way. Honestly, what a perfect way to bring this show to a close. I
Yeah.
couldn't have asked you to
Right
do it any
letter,
better.
yeah.
Thank you so much
You're very
for
welcome.
calling in, my dear. And I'm not kidding you. Keep writing to your friend. It's the greatest. It's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, it is. I shall. Thank you.
Love you, sister. Thanks so much.
Okay, love you too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Let's see if I remember how to get rid of this. There we go. There we go. Well, I really want to thank the ladies who called in tonight, Jessica and Golden Crisp and our dear sister Girl Patriot. Thank you guys for calling in and sharing your memories there. And it's you people are the show. You people are the show. I just love when people remember things in a similar fashion to the way I remember them. It's not that I'm hung up on nostalgia. It's just that I see the world changing in ways that it just kind of seems like people these days are getting gypped. They're getting ripped off. They don't know how good it used to be, how wonderful it was to see 90% of the streets lit up with Christmas lights and people who put up Halloween decorations all year long and the neighbors who all got together at July 4th for parades. The whole town was there, and then you'd see them later that night at the fireworks, and the barbecues with all the neighbors on the street, or people cul-de-sac parties. I really hope that somewhere out there in America, people are still doing that stuff, because that's the kind of thing that I grew up on. I distinctly remember this from the time I was a little kid. My mom and dad knew all of our neighbors. They regularly came over for maybe just a cold beer and a half-hour chat, or they come over for dinner, or we would barbecue, or we'd go over to their house and they'd barbecue. And my dad knew this guy and that guy and the guy next door to him and the guy on the house next to him. And my dad would, go over to three houses down because the woman's sink was clogged and it was a Sunday and you couldn't get a plumber. And my dad would take his tools over there and fix her sink. And, she would send over an apple pie later in the hour. I mean, that's the kind of America that I thrived in. And that's the kind of America that I hope that will still be there for my grandson when he gets of age. They didn't call it America the Beautiful for nothing, man. They really didn't. They really, really, really didn't. Hey, I love all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I am going to, right now, I'm going to release the Scratchin'. I am. The Scratchin' is hereby released over there at Pilled Foxhole. Go and get you some gold pill love, baby. And thanks again to everybody who donated tonight. You are absolutely just Wonderful, wonderful people. God bless you. Same to you over here in Lemon Land. Thank you guys for jacking things up over in the treasure chest. I'm going to be able to at least put something in here. I've got to keep going this direction. I can't go that direction, but this will allow me to at least release something. Okay? It may not be a lot, but it's something, and it's coming your way. So, thank you kindly, everybody, for hanging out with me. It means the world. It really means the world. We will see you now. A couple of important things. I'm going to some forementioning here. Okay, this coming Sunday night at 6 p.m. Pacific on Zoe's Great Escape. Yes, the Sunday Night Escape. I have the film Cocoon for you. Yes, Cocoon, the one that you can't stream it, you can't download it. I had to buy a DVD on eBay, and it arrived in the mailbox today, baby. So that will be our film Sunday night. Join us. It's going to be a great time. And I'll tell you this, the other film that I had, which I tried to play on Sunday and it didn't play, so I had to play a different movie instead. Well, right after the show ended, I took it out and I looked at the disc, and son of a gun, there was a little teeny piece of crud on there. And I got a wet cloth and I cleaned it off, and of course, now it plays perfectly. So I got a couple of great movies coming up over the next couple of weeks. That's on Sunday. That's Sunday night, Zoso's Great Escape. On Saturday, of course, you know that every Saturday, each and every Saturday at 10 in the morning Pacific time, I play 4 to 5 hours of the best classic rock you've ever heard. And then, of course, there is my Friday night show, which, again, is topical. You never know what I'm going to talk about. But a week from tonight, people, 1 week from tonight will be the platform challenge. That's going to be YouTube versus D Live versus Pilled Foxhole versus, all of them. It's mano a mano time, okay? Get ready to rumble, people. Get ready to rumble a week from tonight. I hope you'll join me. I look forward to seeing you there. Look at the luckiest followers. TL Spud, Sleeping Stars, great to see you, Shelbs. How you doing, kiddo? Jayla17, good to see you on the list. Lynn Winters, good for you. Willie, fix it, bringing up the rear, out on the poop deck. All right, great to see you guys. Thanks again for being here. I truly love each and every one of you and appreciate you more than you'll ever know. More than you'll ever know. Thanks for being here. We will catch you all around the bend. Have a great rest of your week. See you soon. I'll be shoving off in September, baby. See you in September. Will I see you in September or lose you to a summer love? I'm away, don't forget to run. I was really hoping that I guess she's not broadcasting tonight. I guess she's not. All right. Well, we'll go here. Good night, everybody.